Hey everybody, this is Russ Carson Jr., one of the genealogists here at Family Tree Nuts, and I'm in Valley View, Kentucky. Valley View is at the confluence of Tate's Creek and Madison County into Jessamine County along the Kentucky River here. So the neat thing about Valley View is it is the oldest continuously operated business in Kentucky, and it was founded in 1785. 1785 is when this ferry started there. You can see the ferry there behind me. It does have a car on one side, and it's bringing it over here on this side. You notice there is no bridge here, and some people complain that it's very difficult to get across here, but most of us like the nostalgia of the ferry. We're about 21 miles downriver from Boonesboro, and I know this because I used to put my canoe in at Boonesboro and float down here to Valley View, but we're about 21 miles downriver from Boonesboro, and as you know, the Kentucky River was the superhighway of the time, and is where the population first started here in Kentucky. They say early in its time that Valley View actually was larger than Lexington and more populated than Lexington. As the railroad grew, the Riney B Railroad, that was the Richmond, Irvin, Beattyville, and one other town, the Riney B Railroad that went across here. The town grew up around the turn of the century in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They say that the town grew to about 1,000 people. And I've got some shots that we're putting on here of the town. It's just a shell of itself right now, of course, but they said about 100 years ago there was 2 lumber mills, 3 general stores, 3 blacksmiths, a hotel, a doctor's office, a school, and even a couple of churches were right here in this community right here. As you can see now, it's just a conglomeration of a few houses. That's happened here. The town even had its own newspaper at one time called the Valley View Argent, and we think that was late 1890s. In the 1920s, lumber had kind of died out in this area, lumber producing, and in the 1930s the Great Depression hit, which actually led to the demise of the town as a big industrial area, and now it's just, like I said, just a conglomeration of houses. You see the ferry right there? If you look right over my shoulder, right there where my finger is, those are the old railroad trusses that went across there where the railroad went across. So that's kind of eerie. The ferry is almost all the way to the edge right now here. It's going to stop and the car's going to roll off. But as you can see, you can look down the river. It's a very beautiful place when you come here when it's not all the leaves down, but was definitely a major superhighway and a major transportation route for many of our ancestors that were migrating even further west. So wanted to take you to this neat spot of Valley View, Kentucky, and remember, Family Tree Nuts. Let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.